I've been wanting to do a video about death, and it's a lifelong study of mine. The whole mystery of death and the causes of it, and what's to be done. We have to face it in a better way. It seems to be something that we're powerless about. It seems to be something that is out of our control. It seems to be something that is inevitable, like they say, death and taxes. You want to come over here? I can use someone here to start off a discussion. You want to come up here? I'm doing a video. We'll see if my guest will jump in a moment. As time goes on, from birth onwards, growing up, growing old, as they say, into childhood, adolescence, young adults, adulthood, maturity, middle age, old age, senior citizen, we notice the stereotypes of each stage, which gives you the characteristic of the quality of being, or the quality of life. Now, the closer you get to death, at whatever year it is, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 30 years, 90 years, 120 years, or even beyond, there are debilitating and degenerative conditions or diseases which you will begin to see compiling. And what are these? Are they inevitable manifestations of time going by, the ravages on the body, or is that something we can prevent? Is that something that can be understood and addressed? Well, I've gotten a few things figured out about it because of my philosophy. And even though I said I've been working on this for a long time, ever since I can remember, it seems that I have not put enough effort in continuously. I have not put in the practice or the necessary techniques that I need to use to confront the aging. So by looking at me, you can't tell a lot, because I move around a lot. I show signs of being young. Maybe I don't seem like a spring chicken, but you can see my hands. My hands don't appear to be old. Skin's not that dry. Skin's not that wrinkled. I move very quickly, nimble, agile. And that's because I use different preventative techniques. I have some methods, anywhere from nutrition to exercise to the meditation, which is supposed to relax the mind. Now, the first thing that you really want to address when you are going to defeat aging is a negative mindset. A disturbed, unhappy mind that is, first of all, if it's unhappy with itself, the self-esteem, in the form of maybe depression or stress or anger. That's one of the worst things that will accelerate the aging. You want to come over here? I want to show you. Now this guy is my youngest friend. He's my youngest friend. And he's only 1 year. Now, if I could be 1 year again and talk like I do now with these kind of plans, with these kind of objectives, by the time I get to my actual age, or if he got to that actual age, he would be so far ahead with his anti-aging campaign, with his prevention measures and his techniques and his method of life all in place. And he would probably be looking like this still by the time he got to this age. And if he's willing to, and if he understands, if he has that drive in his soul, then I can help him. I mean, that's the whole objective. We try to help each other. That's why I'm doing the video. And it's up to you. Nobody can do it for you. I mean, a doctor or a healer can help you. It's a collaboration. Maybe they're more specialized in some knowledge than you are, but essentially, it's got to come from the core of your own soul, like it has with me. I wanted to do it, but if it's not on my mind constantly, every day, or at least every week. Now, this video is kind of a reminder to me, kind of a wake-up call, and I'll put it on here and I'll see if we get back to it. In fact, it's something that I was doing on my other channel, which now the channel has gravitated more to external form of physical exercise. But I started off the mastery channel as more of a mastery of life, mastering and discipline your life energies. And I noticed something, even when I'm doing the videos, like I'm in the middle of doing chores and different projects and feeding myself and feeding my children and taking care of the daily responsibilities. And then like when I have the moment and the inspiration to just plop down a video, even talking at this rate, trying to get this all out, I notice that I'm out of breath. And I'm actually going against my own anti-aging needs. The video is actually a part of aging me. And then I have to do all this with the computer, and that is going to suck me in and stress me out to this extent if I have a good day. And this extent, if I have technical problems or YouTube does something and I've got to go ballistic and try to figure it out and then step back and be patient, but it takes its toll. Everything takes its toll. So then you have to take a look at everything, you review it, and you adjust whatever you can. You find the balance. But what I've been noticing over the decades so far of my life is that balance and doing this right, doing this more perfectly is not easy. And there's always room for improvement. There has to be improvement, because if you fail, that's it. You lost your chance, and you only have one chance. Even though there's reincarnation. See, there's a reason why the religions always warn us about relying too much upon reincarnation, because you only have this one chance. When you lose this one chance, you get set way back. It's like playing a board game, and you're going, and you spin the wheel and throw the dice, and you pick up the card, and it says set all the way back to the beginning. So you're all the way back to the beginning, and you have to go through all this stuff again. You have some foresight and some foreknowledge if you can remember all your other steps, but you're way behind again, and you have to relive it. So that's like reincarnation. You're still in the middle of the game, but you forget. You forget all these things that you gained and all these things that you're working on, because you've got to start again at the beginning and make a foundation and establish yourself and grow your body. You know, growing your body seems to take 12 years, 20 years, and up to like 30 years to where you really develop and mature your body to the point where it's fully formed and usable for many of the tasks that you need to have to establish yourself in life. And then at that 30 years juncture, you can give yourself another 30 and maybe 30 more till you can get to 120 with that body, even though that body keeps renewing itself. But after 30 years, definitely it doesn't seem to have to change. If it does change, it debilitates. It gets like crystallized, it gets crippled, it gets hunched over, and you know, all the things, overweight and lethargic and lifeless and lack of circulation. These types of things are conditions that will creep up, especially after 30, if not sooner, if somebody's unlucky. So how do we address these things? How do we? Breathing, meditation, keeping the mind clear, letting the things run on automatic that are there. These things cannot be expressed. They're often called involuntary mechanisms of the involuntary organs. Think about your organs. The most important ones, although they all have their part to play, you have the heart. You know, feel your heart right now. That's a major thing. Can you feel your heart? Do you experience that expression of your ticker? And you feel it beating and pumping, and you feel the blood surging from it. You hear that, keeping to that time. Listen to that. It's like a song, like music. And you feel it pushing through the rest of your body, through the aorta, and then up toward the jugular, and out into the arms, and down into the rest of the body, that artery, and then all the way into the extremities and the capillaries, and picking back up to the veins, and being pulsed back up to the heart again. Every blood cell molecule, every particle in your blood that carries the life, the oxygen, they say, the air, the nutrients, the energy, and the spirit is what a mystic will say. Just circulating it all the way back again to the heart. And how important your heart is, because if your heart goes, you can get a plastic one, maybe, hopefully it doesn't get rejected, hopefully it'll bond with the rest of the body and be accepted. Now, I've just only touched on the surface. This is an entire series, a serious series, and it's a body of work to really express everything that I know about it, and to give you the log or the journal of what I'm doing. I hope this has inspired you, and I hope that you will relate to it because you're working on something like this. Do the most that you can. First of all, believe that you can. Believe that the life that you have so far has been because somewhere, somehow, deep in your soul, you've wanted to give yourself this much life. Whether you're a few years old, or you're dozens of years old, or you're 50, 60, whatever your age, however many years you have that you can grasp, that you can remember, you've given that to yourself, and you manage to keep it going. You perpetuate it, just like I have. I've managed to perpetuate myself, and every additional day that I get, I'm more and more thankful. And I have to stay aware of it. I have to have this constant vigilance going on so that I can get better at not aging. I can get better at living. And we need new terms of the opposite of aging so that I can reverse it. That's really what I'm doing. I'm trying to reverse the aging process, as the title says. And we're going to do this more. If you want to be inspired, I have Mastery Channel that also deals with it. I think here is a more philosophical approach to where I try to verbalize and express my spiritual wisdom on these mysteries. And death is a mystery. I'd rather contemplate it as long as I can while I'm alive rather than experiencing it, to be honest with you. I'm not that much impressed by the writings and the poetry and the worship of death, the embrace of death. I'm not in the least interested. And I think that's what characterizes me, why the channel is called Mystery, why people can accept the fact that I'm called Mystery. I'm beyond death. I always will be. And it will be a challenge. I've been rising to the challenge so far, and I would love to hear your comments. I would love to encourage you more so that you have more and more life, because there are bigger goals. There are things to know about in the universe. So you've got to stay alive to keep that, because if you don't build on it, you can't just borrow a book from some like ancient sage and read it and study it and say like, you know, you gain that you really understand that. You have to live a life above and beyond whoever is the greatest person, role model, hero that you've ever come across. If they've lived to such a great age, you can't just borrow that. You can't rest your laurels on somebody else. You have to live your own life and to produce your own story and keep producing it and keep it going as long as you can so that you can establish a legacy. If you don't want to do that, well, then you're not in the same league of thinking and dreaming and being and planning. That is my motivation. Thanks for listening. Make sure you comment, share this video, rate it, like it, and at the end of all things, when you've seen a few of my videos, make sure you're subscribed, because YouTube has some flaws.